This is HxHs. I'm John.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
And this is HxHs.
Yeah.
So, last one's been done for a week because that's how they work. So thank you guys very much for being here. Guys, if you like your time here, please remember to like us.
We're not outroing.
I'm not outroing. I'm just saying if you like it, leave a like. But I do like to start it off with a little fun fact. And I may not have actually found a fun fact. Oh. Guys, I'll put this on the screen for you because I found something crazy. Reiner from Attack on Titan, he escaped Attack on Titan and now he's playing tennis. Check this out.
What do you mean?
It's right there.
Reiner!
He's on the British team for Prince of Tennis. Moving on to actual news. So, Kenobi came out this week.
Yeah!
And I wanted to ask you guys what you guys thought of the show so far, like overall, from all the media of Star Wars standpoint. But before I wanted to get into that, I kind of wanted for you guys it'd be an elephant in the room because these guys don't really stay connected to the media like this. But Ian McGregor himself had to put out a video condemning a lot of basic racism that was going towards the Reva character, the actor who plays Reva.
Wow.
And this is something that happens pretty much. It's not a Star Wars isolated thing. It's just a bit more pronounced because Star Wars is so big. Mm-hmm. But whenever there's a character that comes out that they don't even have to do anything wrong, but if they do something wrong or anything, people feel the need to message the actor and complain about the performance.
Wow.
Which I don't understand. This was a big problem for the guy who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. He was basically a tyrant little kid.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, for years, he just constantly got hate.
Oh.
It's just how it is. And Star Wars always had a track record for this because of what happened to, I think his name was Jake Lloyd, the kid who played little Anakin. So it's kind of bringing up, a lot of the actors are trying to be protective of the little girl because they don't want her to go through what Jake Lloyd went through. I think it was Jake Lloyd. That might be a different actor, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that, of course, that's never okay. How do you guys feel about the show overall? Be it the character, be it set pieces, be it the music, how is the show doing it for you?
I'm enjoying the show so far.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like... You know how something can feel like something that came out a long time ago and then they're doing a remaster or a sequel or something? It feels like the new show is trying to be the old show and you can kind of feel that. Mm-hmm. But right now it just feels like the story is continuing. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be what it used to be. It just is what it is, and I really like that.
I get it too.
I am enjoying it too, and what I like is that you can watch this with excitement and expectation, even if you've watched all the old Star Wars. Because I don't think this is repeating anything. It might be taking advantage of old pieces like Vader and Kenobi and such, and even the Inquisitors. But you're not rewatching it like you go in to watch Lion King live action. You know the story.
The whole thing is exactly the same.
Yeah, you know the story, so all you're seeing is hearing Beyonce's voice and not seeing anything else, you know? It's not like that. It's a new story. You get to see something different and a new perspective and something people would love to have known. Yeah. You know what's going through Kenobi's mind through this long time after what happened to Anakin. So I really like that it's a new story. It's interesting too, and I love the cinematics of how they've done it. It's like a movie every time you watch it. And I was thinking about the title. They keep calling it Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. And what if it's just their way of this is just one long movie, guys. But we broke it down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was just gonna throw in there. I think Kenobi is the only character who is beloved in both movies, because people loved him in the original trilogy and also in the sequel. He somehow the love just transferred, and they also loved the Ewan McGregor. I don't know what it is about him. He's just a likable guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's very infectious.
Great accent.
Yeah, the accent. There it is.
He's got that. He had that bubbliness to him and a bit of sass in the prequels, but it didn't go past. You get a lot of characters in a lot of movies that they try to be sassy and they get annoying.
Yeah.
It's just okay, why are you being petty right now? Okay, why are you just constantly throwing barbs? But he did it perfectly, and he was still someone that was respectful.
Yeah, he was still the mature mentor type while also being brotherly fun. And Yeah,
fun uncle vibes.
Fun uncle vibes.
You know, it's funny. I have to throw in my perspective from not remembering anything from any of the previous movies about him. Yeah. I just remember his face. I don't remember his acting. So, seeing him in this show and then hearing you guys say, oh, he's, sassy, I'm really?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I know, but, it must be such a stark contrast to how he is now in this series so far.
It is.
Yeah.
It must feel like, wow, you must feel it more viscerally, the like where he is mentally. You must feel his mental pain a lot more than for me, who's just seeing him like this. Oh, that's him. That's not how he is.
Yeah.
I was a little bit like, when we first saw him, I was like, okay, are we just gonna see completely shattered Kenobi through this whole thing? Because I could understand it if that was what it was. But I also remembered original movies that even though he was old and he looked withered, he still had an air of dignity to him. He had an air of hope to him.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, okay, I know he can't stay in this spot.
Yeah.
But he deserves to be in this spot for a little bit because of everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it wasn't. It was jarring at first, but I quickly was like, all right, he's gonna get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also for that old time feeling, I thought it was going. There's people who are criticizing for being too cheesy. That's what I wrote down. But generally, the newer Star Wars stuff does get pushed a little closer to the more childlike side of Star Wars, which it's Star Wars. They market it towards kids.
Yeah. But on top of that, it was bought by Disney.
It is also bought by Disney.
Yeah.
But the latest episode threw that out a window for me.
I was gonna say, like, Disney. I said it in the reaction actually. Like, that happened on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
This is new ground for these people. So is it like giving us hope that they'll do things like this more often?
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Do you get that?
No,
reference?
I don't.
Okay.
Oh
I know it has something to do with Star Wars.
It's the title of one of the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, the last of the original 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, at this point, one day we might have to just watch the movie again.
That would be good. Yeah.
Solar reaction.
But yeah, so this compared to, I wrote something here. I have more hope for this show than any of the other shows for Star Wars. Mandalorian was a welcome surprise with the newer shows, but like you guys were saying, I do feel genuine hope for Kenobi. I do feel genuinely excited for Kenobi. Before I was kind of like tentatively excited because the first 2 episodes were like, okay, we're just getting started though, but okay, it wasn't like something big to me. But then with this latest episode, it's just, okay, this is actually good. Especially after Boba Fett, and we made our feelings known on that, a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad they gave it, I think they also gave it a bigger budget because those lightsabers look amazing.
The lightsabers, they looked really cool.
I forgot to mention
that. They look like what lightsabers should look like.
I can imagine seeing that in real life.
Yeah. I think somebody had mentioned the differences between the lightsabers of the different movies, not including Kenobi. But like in the originals, apparently the lightsabers were much thinner and they looked more sword-like. Whereas in the prequels, they were thicker and kind of had like a more dangerous baton feeling to it.
I have to say, I also loved the moment the lightsaber was introduced, because you see like Vader's, we walk into the scene and you just see Vader's, and it's just more ominous that moment, and then we're like, oh, are we gonna see Kenobi's blue saber? And then we don't see it, and then later when he gets shocked and he turns around, he turns it on, and it was just like epic and like powerful, and the light beam in his face and everything was just strong and high contrast. It was a great moment.
And I could totally understand that feeling of when Kenobi was describing what the Force felt like to Leia, where it's like the dark and the light and feeling safe. For some reason, when I saw the lightsaber, that's when I said, oh, I get it.
The
lightsaber has such a big feeling of it's bigger than whatever is in the moment.
That's true.
It is a symbol.
Especially like seeing the red and you feel the ominous vibes, and you get a blue light in front of your face and you feel like I have something to protect myself.
What's interesting is when you said what you just said, when you turn the lightsaber on and then you're like, oh, I get it. I'm like, oh, it's like a different connection in my head. It's like, oh, he literally turned the light on and he literally started to feel safe. In the dark.
In the dark.
Yes.
That is true. I wonder if that was intentional.
Yeah, maybe because he was trying to feel safe, and he's like, "What the heck is going on?" Yeah.
And also, for the thin lightsaber thing, we see that in Rebels.
Oh, you do?
Rebels, yeah, they have the old classic design of the lightsabers. Let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. It honestly wasn't my favorite, but I understood they were like, it's basically a tribute. So like, Rebels lightsabers. Look at that.
Oh wow!
See how thin those are?
Very
I'll put
thin.
those up on the screen for you guys.
They're like pencils.
But that's the concept art. The concept art had them looking like that. Like, look, you can see straight up down onto around the saber and Kenobi's.
The hilt.
Interesting. I wonder, was that obviously? Look at this one. It even looks like a sword.
Well, I think that one's moving.
Yeah, that one's in motion.
Oh, it's in motion. Okay.
When they move, they have like a little haze behind them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the thinner saber makes more sense because it's supposed to be
it's like a laser.
A laser. That's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be like a light laser. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, like, to generate that much power for a thick light laser, it just seems like incredible to get it that thick versus a thinner saber laser with like intense power to bore through someone. I don't know. Just my thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah, and also sometimes Jedi use their lightsabers as like a flashlight.
Oh.
So when I see them with this tiny one, try to
use
it
it's like that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
But
the Kenobi does have the thicker look, the thicker lightsaber look.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I like that one. It's not super thick, but it's on the thicker side.
It looks thicker than it did in the prequels. I don't know if that's
and the prequels were thick.
The prequels were thicker than the originals.
Oh, okay. Well, the one I saw in Kenobi, I liked.
It looked a bit too much to me.
Too much?
The Kenobi one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't so much that I was just like, oh my goodness, why did they do that? But it was like I noticed like, oh, wow, that is
thick.
5 C's right there.
I don't know what that means.
Thick.
Thick with.
Oh, okay, got it.
And we have a big piece of news that just came out about another anime. So apparently, Togashi, the guy who writes Hunter x Hunter, straight just tweeted that 4 more episodes of Hunter x Hunter are coming out soon. 4? 4.
4?
Yeah.
Why only 4? Why not 12? Why not 26 or 28?
I do not know. But no one even knew it was him because he just made a Twitter account.
Wait, maybe it was supposed to be insider information. He was trying to be all surreptitious about it, and they're like, "No, we know it's you."
Well, this is the image he tweeted out. He just tweeted 4 more episodes for the time being, and that was it. And so then everyone's like, "Okay, but who is this?" But this is very clearly like looks like an official manuscript or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was later confirmed by the author of One Punch Man, and Dr. Stone said that yes, that was him, and he tweeted that.
It's like the other authors had to be like, no, it's actually
fine.
him.
It's fine.
It's.
He says for the time being.
Yeah. So I'm maybe it's like a kind of like a preview miniseries type of thing, or an OVA type of thing.
So can you tell me, this Togashi guy, is this the original writer guy?
Yeah. It's his manga.
His manga. Okay, because I remember he's the one that we are suspecting might be suffering some sort of illness.
It is him.
It is him. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, he introduced himself by, I will tell you mainly the progress of the manuscript, then posted the picture. Then said, for the time being, there are 4 more episodes. So he's trying to write more, but for right now, he's got 4 in the bag. So, yeah.
So 4 more...
So is it like 4 gonna be released, or has he made 4 more episodes worth of
manga?
Stuff?
Yeah.
Well, from this phrasing, it sounds like 4 more are gonna get released, because there has been interesting news that Hunter x Hunter is coming back.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing 4 more will come out. I mean, look what Ancient Magnus did, right? Just random OVAs.
Oh, Ancient Magnus.
Magnus.
Okay.
That was Magnus this whole time.
Magnus.
Magnus makes way more sense. But, yeah, so maybe it could be something like that. They space out the episodes.
Wouldn't it be great if it's actually 4 more plus what was already promised by the other guys?
Probably not.
I know, but...
That would be awesome. But I think there should be... There's quite a bit more... since the end of this series that we're watching now that has come out, but I think I've heard other people say it's enough for like a season, but it wouldn't be enough to like finish out the story.
There's still untied bows, knots, threads, plot.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
I mean, do you recall the video where I showed you where you remember the Gintama thing talking about how mangas? Yeah. So. I think they just don't want to run into that situation again. Like they may have enough to get those episodes done, but they're like, and we're done.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of we're starting a second arc right now, but we don't have any more. So they're probably just waiting for it to finish it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, also that Twitter account amassed over 1 million followers in 4 days.
Of course. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Togashi Sensei!
Togashi's the guy, he's one of the big anime makers.
What else does he make?
I don't know. Let me see.
Hunter x Hunter.
It's just that Hunter has been like the anime
for a long time.
For a very long time. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty good.
Oh, he made Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, that's also it's like an oldie anime.
Yeah.
One of the oldie animes.
And those are only the notable works, so he's made other things.
Yeah. It was one of those things that, like, you know, you hear of Hunter x Hunter as soon as you watch, like, Dragon Ball Z or even Boku no Hero Academia. Somebody's talking about Hunter x Hunter. But if you've been watching anime for a while, you end up hearing about Yu Yu Hakusho. And people being like, this was an amazing anime, you have to watch it. Yeah.
So it's like Dragon Ball Z, I'm guessing?
It's got powers. Like,
it's got powers. It's got powers.
You know, like power beams, stuff like that. It's got
okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Power-ups, tournament arcs.
Do you think it's something, like, I would enjoy?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's
it
good,
might.
but...
It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z meets Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh. I can stomach Dragon Ball Z, believe it or not. Like, I remember I used to watch Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was like episodes of the one singular fight. Mm-hmm. And I still liked it. I still went to watch it every time the episode came on.
Yeah, it's not that you wouldn't like Dragon Ball Z, or it's that, like, it's the old.
It's very old.
Yeah,
it's very old.
So it also has, like, the
some little quirks.
Yeah, like the girls in there. It's like, no. It's like, Yamate Yugi.
It also pretty much invented with one of its signature villains. It was actually a pretty good arc. With the increasing by percentage thing, like, I'm going to use 5% of my power, now 10%. You know, as the show goes on, slowly he shows more.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool character. And I just scrolled on to see he wrote in total 13 mangas.
Wow.
Incredible.
Anything else interesting?
Nothing that you know.
Akuten Wars!
You don't know what that
is. No, I don't.
Nice.
But something you do know that...
Biohazard. I heard of that. Is that the same Biohazard I know of?
You think it's Bioshock?
Nope.
Oh, no.
That's Resident Evil.
Biohazard.
Wait.
Why did it
take
Resident Evil?
What happened?
Alright, someone played a trick on the wiki.
Yeah.
That's not Resident Evil.
No.
But yeah, I would say something you guys do know that I wanted to ask you about. So, you've reached a point in Death Note that I think is a good point to bring this up. So, a lot of reactors tend to feel very reserved about both Light and L and their deductive capabilities and their insane level of planning. And I just wanted to know, do you find it believable of how incredibly intricate these plans can get and are executed to perfection? Or do you feel like it's forced or because plot? Because there has, like, especially, like, I remember watching Blind Wave, they had a real time with it, like, early on. Because it's like, how do you get that? How do you get to this conclusion? And I get it, but I wonder, have you guys felt that way about the show?
I personally haven't, because most of the time that I might feel like that is when they were thinking on their feet. So I've never felt like, how do you plan so precisely? It's more like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and if basically they have like 3 backup plans if that doesn't go to plan A. And I'm like, okay, I can conceivably see you being like, okay, try this. Okay, that doesn't work. What do we try next? This works. That doesn't. And kind of like going back and forth like that. I never felt like this. I can't think of like a plan that they had from like beginning to end of like, it's gone perfectly, other than the lights.
That last one. That's what I was going to say. So I agree with you for the most part. Pretty much everything up to this point, I've accepted as, okay, somebody could come, possibly come up with that. Except Light's last big 5-head play.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, that plan, banking on his own like feelings, it makes sense, and it makes sense and it doesn't at the same time, like, because evil Light with all the memories, understands non-evil Light, right? So, but non-evil Light doesn't understand evil Light. It's weird. It's very weird. So, I I guess I can say, okay, you would know what you would be like if you didn't have this power because you used to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like banking on himself figuring this out. Like he's banking on himself being smarter than L, basically. Because he had to be smarter than L to get to this point. I think. I mean, he needs to depend on L as well, but I think he had to win at the end. He had to have gotten his hands on the Death Note.
I wouldn't agree that he banks on him being smarter than L. I think the reason why I don't find it as hard to believe that he could pull this off is because the only thing he banked on was himself. Because there's no other part of his plan where he'd be like, and then this person does this. It's just like, yeah. I know I'm going to try and find Kira.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But that's the only part that he really banked on. He's like, eventually I will touch this Death Note.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. That's true. He's only banking on himself. He's not like planning, and Misa will, and L will, which does make it more realistic.
Yeah. He's like, eventually. True. It'll happen eventually. That's like true. 30 years later, he finally touches the Death Note.
Oh, this wasn't worth it at all.
Like he has a wife and kids by then. He's like, time to get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reasoning for Light understanding evil self, but not normal self understanding evil self. I may have said that wrong. Okay, so
no, you said it right.
Okay, so I think it's because Light did actually figure out what he would do if he was evil. It's just he has this mental barrier of I can't
believe I would do that.
Yeah, I would never.
He doesn't believe he would ever possibly do that. Which that I've always thought about and wondered why he thinks he would never go that far if he did. Like we know he does, but he's so solidly against I would never even try. So I think it starts out with the fact he legitimately thought it was like a joke notebook, which is why he tested it. And then he was like, I've crossed Rubicon. I can't go back.
Yeah. I think something came to my mind when you're saying that. The fact that he cannot pass this mental barrier of I would never or could I ever is the reason he crossed the line when he had the power. Think about it.
Okay.
He is so, I have to say, full of himself to think that he cannot fail, that he cannot fall to such great depths, that he won't even consider that line of thought. He wouldn't until L made him think through it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess it would have been my will, is what he came to. Yeah. And I wonder how much more he's thought about it after that. Because if he thought about it, would he have touched a notebook? He was like, let me see. Like if he had thought past it, if he had thought deeply, in his own time, he would have probably been more aware of the fact, wait a minute, I might be connected to this thing, and if they're seeing things, something might happen if I touch this. Like, I think he would have come to that conclusion.
So you're saying the fact that he didn't fully think about
through it,
is the reason that he ended up falling as far as he did when he became evil. Yeah,
because he has he has this hubris of I am this much perfect. I am perfect. I have my moral standards. I'm not holding a gun. I am not going to manipulate Misa. This is me. I am justice. And he kept that mindset in as he went down the evil path when he got the power. But this mindset is what has made him feel like, no, I can be God because I am perfect. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And I would agree, and bring it back to the whole joke point of it, is once he realized it wasn't a joke and he killed somebody, he couldn't accept that he was a criminal.
And he had to make it something.
He had to be perfect.
He had to turn it, twist it in his mind. Yeah. No, I can use this for good and be a good person. Yeah.
Which makes me think, had he known it was an actual real notebook, he probably never would have used it.
No. He probably would not have tested it. Yeah.
Tragedy.
It's like I would never, but I did.
And once he did, it was too late.
Yeah. So another show that's coming back is, as you guys know, My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
So there's something interesting that's happening. Not only is it coming back in the fall, but there's going to be special 2 episodes that's will be coming out June 16th and 19th in Japan. Will be streaming later in summer.
Okay.
2 episodes are going to be like an interlude kind of thing. Like I saw a thumbnail of one of the episodes is like a baseball. They're playing baseball.
Okay.
Kind of introduce the kaiju routes.
What was it? Obligatory school student activities.
Exactly
stuff.
what it is.
Yeah.
And another one's going to be focused around Todoroki's dad dealing with. It sounded like a jokester criminal. He's called like Smiley or something.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So it's like not inconsequential, but kind of furthers the story a little bit, but not enough for you to like have to see it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's to drum up excitement in Japan. Like it's been gone for a little bit, and they're just this is like their marketing campaign in Japan.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta say, My Hero Academia's author, he is doing everything right.
How so?
He came.
He saw, he conquered.
Yeah, he took the world by storm with his manga, and he came out with like a side manga which talks about like the vigilante side of things and the more dangerous role and the darker aspects of the hero life. So if people want to read that, they can read that. He's got movies coming out. He has an alternate ending he put in one of the movies, and he's got the manga's coming up to his close pretty soon. Everything sounds like it's coming perfectly together. Where so many other mangas, like in the yesteryear, like 10 years ago, there'd be so many times that you'd be watching a show and be wondering, okay, when's the plot picking back up? Okay, is the story even actually going to be finished? How many animes did we see that never got an ending?
Yeah,
you know?
It just kind of like went to filler and then just like
fizzled.
Yeah. Or they came out and they were great at first and then died, or had a great ending, but too bad the anime was trash.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, maybe we'll find out more about him, but perhaps he's been suffering from the anime angst, of like, why can't anime be better? And he's like, I'm going to make it better and be an example.
Yeah.
And hopefully people learn from him and see what he's doing, because that's not only is his like side quests, kind of like his side mangas, promoting him, but it's promoting the bigger show too. Like people will like read this, like I want to see more by this guy, and also the big show is gonna push everything else he does. Like if he tries his little manga side things that he's doing, they're gonna get, growth
bigger.
as well. They're feeding off each other, kind of thing. So I think you're right. He's doing some really good things, and he's taking advantage of the attention right now. Because once My Hero's done, like, getting another big hit, unless he's just, like, an amazing writer, getting another big hit to hit the mainstream, it's a slug, you gotta try hard to hit it big. So, yeah.
And it's a team effort, too. Because even if you're a solo manga and you've got a great manga, you've got to have a good studio behind you.
Yeah.
So the studio's doing a great job. Because, I mean, look at, like, One Punch Man. Very fun, very enjoyable anime, but season one. I mean, season 2 was alright. It's just the quality
you don't
went down
remember
a bit.
season 1.
But the problem is where's season 3? You know what I'm saying? Like My Hero Academia, year after year, new season. Well, not year after year, but you know what I mean. Like it's continually becoming out.
It's basically confirmed as soon as the next season ends. It's like next season is coming. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's happening.
No drop in quality.
Yeah,
and the story stays the same. Whereas with One Punch Man, it's got so much potential. It's got all the popularity, but it can't ride that lightning. It came and it was one of the big ones that broke through the wall of getting into the West popularity. Like just like Attack on Titan, and remember both of them came and just disappeared after their season ended. Yeah. So I do think the mangaka have become more. I don't know what the word would be. I guess more structured, and more they know what to do.
Yeah.
At least that's the feeling I get. Maybe the business was harder to do. Maybe it was harder to work with the studios. That 100% could be a part of it.
Yeah.
But I just noticed more recently a lot of mangas have their act together.
Yeah, like more like the path is paved.
The path is paved.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be both. That the path is paved based on what people have done in the past. Let's do this better, and it could also be some kind of what you just said. Maybe the studios are learning how to take better care of their mangakas, even if it's not perfect yet, or they're still struggling under the pressure. The mangakas are struggling under the pressure. Maybe they're changing things and trying things. They're like, well, let's give them an extra weekend holiday, see if that helps. And the little freedoms they're getting, or little extra things that they're changing, maybe that's making a big impact on what the mangakas can do. They're feeling like, I can do this. I can keep up with the deadlines.
Yeah.
I mean, what is this guy? What is this guy doing differently, or what is this? What is his studio, by the way?
Bones.
Bones.
How could I forget? It's Bones.
Never heard of Bones.
Studio Bones have done some other good mangas before. I can't remember. I've seen their name around before. I just can't remember what they've done.
Let's see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, no.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, the original Full Metal.
The original.
Oh, and did sequel. Well, remake, I mean. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's right there.
Are you sure it's the original? That was way in...
Yeah, but...
That's the newer one.
The one that we watched is Brotherhood. Full Metal is older. Yeah. Soul Eater.
Soul Eater,
date...
What's
Oh,
wrong with it?
okay.
It's
The dates are
going-
going the other way. Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was going the other way.
Yeah, My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so My Hero was a
Concrete
big thing.
Revolution.
Did we watch that?
I watched that.
Oh, no, don't tell us.
Mob Psycho as well.
Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Stray
That
Dogs.
was popular.
Blood Blockade, Battlefront,
Battlefield
and Beyond.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
season
the same
2
one?
of
Oh, that's-
the Blood
okay, I was gonna
Battlefield Blockade.
I was going to say the name looks backwards. Okay.
It's translated 2 different ways. It's Blood Blockade Battlefront and also Blood Battlefield Blockade.
Okay.
Weirdest name. I honestly don't think it relates to the anime at all.
Their powers are blood related.
Yeah, but Blockade?
Blockade? I don't know.
Oh, you want to see all of them?
Yeah, I just wanted to see what they continue.
Psycho 3's
They
gone.
continue.
Oh my gosh, Bungo
Psycho
Stray Dogs is getting a season 4.
and 4.
Why?
Yeah.
We're done. We're done.
It's acting like it's still TBA.
Yeah, TBA.
Okay, but it's blue. What does that mean?
That blue means there's a wiki page if you go there. Red
okay.
means there's no information.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and the only other thing I want to say about My Hero is that the season that's coming, we're going into the paranormal arc. Remember he named this.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about actual paranormals.
No.
Okay.
So it's going to be a war arc. Is from what everyone's describing. It's going to be interesting.
As if the last ones
wasn't
warful enough.
No, they really weren't. That was set up. That was setting up for a war. I want to see like actual civil war. I want to see it break out.
You want blood.
I want blood.
Battlefront Blacklade.
No. But this is something this is for Rose. I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about it. Check it out.
What is it?
Crunchyroll is going to be helping to release a Prelude film to film Fruit Baskets in North America.
Oh.
And you were talking about how much you liked Fruit Baskets, and I was saying how much I didn't care about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
I enjoyed Fruit Basket. It's basically, like, this isn't something that you're not gonna learn in like the first episode. So basically, it's the Chinese not Chinese zodiacs. Is it Japanese zodiacs? One of the zodiacs. The zodiacs.
Yep.
They're basically people. They're actual people. However, they only turn into their animals when you hug them.
What?
Or when you make, is it hug? Any contact of any kind, I think, from the opposite sex. So the cat one turns into a cat. The mouse one turns into a mouse. However, the cat, according to the Zodiac story, the rat tricks the cat out of the Zodiac party.
Mm-hmm.
So the cat doesn't get to join with the other Zodiac, so he's not actually a part of the Zodiac, but for some reason he's a part of the Zodiac story. I don't know. I don't understand it. But kind of the same thing here. The cat and the mouse don't get along, and the cat is also ostracized by all of the other Zodiacs. They're like, don't touch him. Don't look at him.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was about to give spoilers, but yeah. But yeah, she ends up stumbling upon their secret. At the same time, the main character, she's absurdly positive, smiles no matter what. Her mother had just died, and she's homeless. So she's like camping out in the middle of the forest, and they end up finding her. It's like, why are you camping out in the middle of the forest? And she's like, outdoor activities. And they're like, yeah, you're lying. And she ends up finding out their secret. So they're like, you know what? We have to watch you anyway. Just move in with us. And thus the story begins.
Okay.
So is it a slice of life?
There is pain
What,
in this
really?
anime.
Actually?
Yes. Lots of trauma.
And angst.
And angst.
Wow.
Are there high schoolers?
Of course they are.
Okay.
But yeah, it's still somehow stays a sweet story, becomes a sweet story. Where did it go? Where is it going? You don't know, but it's an enjoyable anime.
Surprising, because I always thought it was a romance. Like
it is a romance.
Oh, okay, but it's trauma?
There is trauma.
Okay, so it's Attack on Titan, is what you're saying.
Not that bad.
It's Attack on Titan. Okay. So, would you want to watch this movie?
I would personally, because you get a lot of flashbacks to like what the mother used to be, and her friends knew her mother too. So her friends also idolized her mother because her mother was like the opposite of her. But she's like super bubbly and super girly, prim, and proper. The mother isn't serious. She's like has like delinquent energy to her, you know. Or, like,
okay.
Yeah, she's
Like
kind of
rebel.
Yeah, she used to be, and that's how I thought. That's how she met her father eventually, the main character's father. But you never see anything about the main character's father. So I'm excited for this because we don't. I've never even gotten to see his face in the anime. Just kind of show his back sometimes.
He's a Zodiac too.
He's a Zodiac. Maybe it's possible.
There's one thing I'm curious about. So they are the actual Zodiac animals.
Yes, it's part of the Soma family.
So,
And when one Zodiac passes away, somebody else in the family becomes the next Zodiac.
Okay. I was thinking of like where the logic of why are they here together, but okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's one family, and they have like a village of the. I guess this is a thing that some, kind of a clan. Only the inner circle of the family know about the Zodiacs, and anybody who's born a Zodiac, that family ends up going into the inner circle of the village to basically just live together in isolation.
Sad.
Yes, and that's where the trauma and stuff comes in, because the dragon Zodiac
is evil.
Not
he's evil.
more trauma, and likes inflicting trauma.
Okay, easy.
He's struggling, and he's misery causing misery.
Alright, but I've got another show for you to rant about.
Oh dear.
So Magnus Bride just dropped his trailer this Friday for the final episode. And you were talking...
That is that smile.
This is Pinterest. But, yeah, check this out.
This anime started in 2021. This season started in 2021.
Oh, the season.
Yes.
You excited?
My excitement fizzled out like after the second episode, and then I had to just sit there and wait for the third one.
Why do you think they did this?
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I don't know why. I don't see the benefit.
No benefit?
I don't see it. I mean, if it was like 1 month apart, I would understand. But again, we're in month, what is it, 7? We're in month 7 now. This anime started in 2021.
I mean,
7 months for 4 episodes? Not even 7 months, like 7, 8, 9, maybe 9 episodes?
Wait, did you say it's releasing its last...
It's the last episode.
Episode for the season?
For the season.
So there's only 4 episodes for...
That's going to be the 4th episode, yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. When she was describing it to me, you just don't... I don't know of another anime that's done that.
I don't know.
How do they fit like the entire story, like an interesting story that can be scrunched into 3 30-minute episodes? Like I can't wrap my brain around that.
We've already had 2 seasons of this anime, so we're already connected to the characters. We already have a base, a understanding of the world around us. So now you're just like taking this one event.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just kind of showing this one event happening.
So is this the only season that's done this?
That I've ever... Oh, you mean season for this...
No. The only season that's like spaced their episodes out like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So maybe... Are they wrapping up the story then?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what they mean by the 3rd volume.
Is this season 3?
It would be the 3rd season.
Oh, so maybe that's what they mean. Overall, is it a good anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like it. I enjoy it. Can be a little bit annoying at times because the girl has like 0 self-preservation skills.
Okay.
But that is also due to trauma, so you kind of just like brush it off, and you're like, I hope you grow that muscle someday. But Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, I wanted to get into the comments that were left from last time, and one of them, I may have given you a preview of this one, but this is from the 8th episode of ReactCast, so thank you very much for commenting. Tarius Holbert was saying, in response to the discussion on Clanad and why each episode seemed to be disconnected from the last, at least at some point, he said Clanad originally was a visual novel to simulate...
A sim date.
A sim date about 11 different routes, with the episodes only covering the main point of the main 5 girls' stories. But they only focused on the main girl, and that's the reason... the reason is because during the game, you collect orbs of happiness from the point of view of the girl in the room who is the main character's daughter, is collecting them as the show goes on, and that's why, after which they both die, and it's going back in time. So, thank you. But, so what he's saying is the reason they keep going back in time is...
That's how a game works.
That's how a game works.
Yeah. That's how the game... Okay. In season 2, the reason why we saw the girl and the robot doing all the things that they do and dying, and the whole season basically going back to episode like 1 or 2 is because it was the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And apparently they cut 6 girls out of the story because there were 11 different routes.
Yeah. There were a lot of girls in the anime, but the only like 5 of them were his friends, and you meet some other people along the way. So maybe there were some what are the like Easter eggs in there.
Mm-hmm. So Clanad is apparently one of the greatest animes of all time. No. And I'm glad you recommend it. Especially those of you who are in a vulnerable state. Watch that. I'm kidding.
No. It's perfect for you if you're in a vulnerable state.
But another thing we got is from Settsu in response to, remember we were talking about the beach episode in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
He's saying, in My Hero Academia beach episode, I don't think it's even canon if I remember correctly. Also, no way the guy knows about School Days and Nice Boat. LMAO. The anime was a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah. School Days has a reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much everything that I have. I mean, yeah, I just want to encourage you guys. We do try to read all these comments, and if you guys ask questions, we do try to answer them on these ReactCasts. Of course, it takes a bit of time if you're asking a question on public, but there's also, if you have just like a really quick question, that's like a yes or no question, we have the Discord, and you can ask it in the Q&A section there. We try to reserve the larger questions where we can have a little fun and talk about it on the podcast. Thank you guys very much for being here, and guys, if you like the time here, please like, subscribe if you want to see more. Remember, check out the Patreon if you guys want to see the ReactCast early, or if you guys want to see the shows a week ahead. There's a $5 tier for that. Thank you guys very much. I will see you guys next time in React City. Goodbye.
Bye.